Hey, what's up? It's Wednesday on Golden State Boulevard, and the topic this week is outing. Outing is a term that I don't know that, but I assume that it comes from the expression to come out of the closet, which is usually used when referring to somebody revealing in a probably relatively public way that they're gay. However, outing when it is referring to a trans situation would imply that a person has come out in the same way that a person can come out as gay as being trans. So they're openly trans, as opposed to living in quote unquote stealth, in which nobody knows and they don't tell anybody. Outing, usually, I've never heard it have a good connotation, but it usually implies that somebody has purposefully revealed, and we're using this in the context of transness, so that a person has purposefully revealed that somebody is trans, probably not with their permission, and probably when they didn't want anyone to know. Of course, there are situations where this could happen on accident. If a person wasn't clear to their friends or to a teacher or parents that they didn't want people to know, it might come up in conversation for whatever reason, and a friend or a colleague or relative, etc., could unintentionally out a person. Usually, though, when I hear about this and when people talk about outing, it's more so to do with people doing it on purpose to spite the person in question and to hurt them. And I think that's a horribly cruel thing to do. I'm not saying that, we live in the Middle Ages and you'll get torn from limb to limb if somebody finds out you're trans, but you don't know what the situation could be. It varies from place to place. Or maybe you do know, and that is the reason you've decided to out someone. Not you, of course, I'm speaking to anybody who might do that. But I just think it's a really cruel thing to do, because you don't know what the person's home situation is, whether or not their parents may disown them or in some other capacity really ruin their lives. Or other people. The school administration might have something against it. If they're in a part of a church, the church might not approve of that. There's so many factors, and there's just really no good reason at all to purposefully out somebody if they've specifically, especially if they've specifically stated that they don't want people to know. Coming out is a very personal thing, and not everybody chooses to do it. And that's their personal decision, regardless of what your beliefs on that subject are. There are people who think that everybody should come out, and to not do so does a disservice to the community and the visibility of the community. But it's not anybody but the person in question's decision whether or not they come out. And we have to keep that in mind and tread very lightly when dealing with this subject. It's only fair, and it's just kinder. And even if a person, no, that's pretty much it. Yeah, you just have to respect the wishes of the person in question, and point blank period. There was a long time where I didn't want people to know that I was bigender. I told my friends, don't tell people that. You have pronouns that you use with me, you have names that you use with me. I don't want to use those with other people because it could be dangerous for me. Well, dangerous is a bit of a stretch. I do live in a pretty safe community, but it would have changed the lifestyle that I was leading, and I wasn't ready to do that at that time. And they respected that. And that's all that really anybody asks when they tell their friends or relatives, etc., don't tell anybody. And it works both ways, especially regarding trans issues. It could be that they are living in stealth, meaning that they're living as a different gender than their sex without telling anybody that they were quote unquote born in the other body. So if a trans man lives in stealth, he doesn't tell people that he was born a girl. And or it could work the other way around, where, as was the case with me, I didn't want people to know at first that I was bigender, and therefore wanted the overall impression to be that I was a cis girl. That's since changed. I make YouTube videos about it now, so, you know, my opinion has changed, my situation has changed. But at the time, it wasn't like that. So just keep in mind that people have different timelines. You know, some people come out really early on. Some people wait a couple of years even. Some people decide that they don't ever want to come out. They don't want that to be a part of their public persona at all. And all of these options are completely fine and acceptable. And as long as they don't stem from, you know, some sort of deep-rooted sense of shame, I think that you should just be able to do what's going to make you the most comfortable and what makes the most sense for your current situation. And so that's really what I have to say about outing, and just play nice. Don't do that to somebody. That is like so unconscionable. It's really unconscionable. Unconscionable. One of those two, conscionable, to do that, and you could really, really damage a person by doing that. It's not your place at all to out somebody else, ever. And on that note, I will catch you guys next Wednesday. Stay happy, stay safe, and take care.